Afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. I want us to discuss something. Before you go to the visa interview, what is it that the visa officer already knows about you? And what are the three things that they are looking for during the visa interview before they determine whether you are eligible to be given a visa or to be denied a visa? So the visa officer already knows your visa application, what we call DS-160 form. So the visa officer will review the information you have provided in your visa application form, what you're calling DS-160, and this will include details about your background, travel plans, and purpose of visit. Why do you want to come to US? The visa officer already knows that. Apart from that, another thing that he or she knows is your passport information. The visa officer will have access to details about your passport, including your travel history, for example, your previous visas or travel to other countries, and any past immigration violations, if applicable. Any other thing that happened in the past pertaining to your passport, the visa officer already knows that. Even before the interview starts, he or she already knows all the information about you in your passport. Previous USA visa and immigration history. If you've ever applied for a US visa before or have been to the US, the officer will be aware of your visa history, including whether your previous visa was approved, denied, or it was revoked. The visa officer already knows about this. So it is him now to decide whether he will give you the visa or not. Your biometric data. Remember, during the interview process, you may have already submitted fingerprints and facial biometric data, which will be on your file. So the visa officer is able to check this data for any potential red flags, and he knows whether he is going to give you the visa or not based on your biometric information. Supporting documents. For example, the financial document, like let's say the bank statement, financial records, employment letters, or invitation. The officer will review this to assess your credibility online, because remember, when you're filling up the form, you also upload your documents online before you even attend the visa interview. Another thing that the officer will also know, apart from supporting document, is what you're calling security and criminal records. The officer may have access to databases to verify if you have any criminal background, national security concerns, or immigration violations, both in the US and internationally. So they already know about this about you. And therefore, you see, even before you come, this will be known. Even before you start discussing, this will be known about you. Now, what are the three things that the visa officer will focus on during your interview? Number one, your intention to return to your home country. The officer needs to be convinced that you have strong ties to your home country, such as a job, family, property, or other obligations, and therefore you will be going home after your visa expires in the United States. So they will look for clear evidence that you are not trying to immigrate or overstay your visa in the United States. So ensure you convince them, ensure you show good intention of returning back to your home country. The purpose of your trip. That is the second thing he's looking for. Why are you coming to the US? So the officer will ask about your reason for visiting the United States. Is it tourism? Is it business? Is it study? They want to ensure your purpose aligns with the visa type you are applying for. So a well-detailed plan, including specific dates, location, activities, helps convince the officer that your visit is legitimate and legal. Your financial ability. So the visa officer will assess whether you have sufficient funds to cover costs of your trip, including your travel, accommodation, and other expenses. They may ask about your financial situation, and review any financial documents you provide, bank statement, pay stubs, etc. Will help them to determine if you can afford the trip and if you are likely to return home or not. So by focusing on the first one, your intention to return to your home, the purpose of your trip, your financial ability, then we are saying that these three key areas, the officer makes a judgment about whether or not to approve your visa application. So it is essential to be honest, provide clear information about your financial ability, about your intention to return back home, then also your purpose of traveling to the United States. So your answers will make the visa officer to decide whether to give you the visa, to deny you. Until then, go through this comment section, like, subscribe, and share. I wish you all the best.